Hi, and welcome to Enjoy TV. I'm Angela.
I'm Camille.
Today we're doing our on-air English section, and our discussion today is looking for a book. Now, I have to tell you, looking for a book used to be a lot different than it is now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, but now you have a computer, you just go to the computer, you type it in, and it goes, ding, yes, we have this book. But before there were computers, do you know how we did it?
How do you do it?
They had a whole bunch of cards about this size in little drawers, and they had a whole section in the front of the library that were just drawers full of cards.
Oh.
And you had to know the name of the book or the name of the author, and then you went and looked it up. You're like A, B, C, O, D. Then you find D, and then you go through, you pull out the drawer.
That's time-consuming to find a book.
Yeah, and there were these long drawers, and you had to go through all the cards until you found your book. And then you couldn't take the card out, because if you lost the card, you would lose the book. So you had to then write down the name of the book, and then and then go and find the book. Yeah.
Wow.
It was different. So it was a lot of work to find a book.
OK， 我们今天生活影音学堂要讲的是 looking for a book， 就是找一本书。那刚刚 Angela 老师就有讲到啊，在过去和现在要到图书馆找一本书其实很不一样的。我们现在到图书馆，只要到电脑打几个字，那你要找的书就可以跑出来了。可是在过去呢，其实你要到也就很多个抽屉，那它有不同的 A B C D E F G， 每个都有不同的抽屉，那你要去翻。就是比如说你的书名作者是 B 好了，那你就去找 B， 然后你就一个一个找，那最后你找到之后，它在第几排、第几列，那你就把它抄下来，然后你就去找这本书。所以真的跟现在相比，以前相当的麻烦。
Now, if you don't know the name of a book, or you don't know the author, or you just remember that your friend told you about this cool book, then what do you do? You know, regardless if you're using the card system or the computer system, how do you find out? That's when you go ask the librarian.
就是说，如果你不知道这本书名的作者，那你也不知道就是它的出版社，那你要怎么办呢？那就是我们需要问那个 librarian， 就是图书馆员的时候了。
So librarians are very, very important because they're the ones that know everything about the library, where the books are, and also they have lots and lots of other kinds of knowledge. Librarians know a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. 他说没错啊，因为 librarians 他不止呢，就是知道那个图书馆里面就是书啊区都在哪里，那他本身呢对书也一定有相当的知识，所以 librarians 对我们来说真的帮助也蛮大的。
So let's take a look at the dialogue, which is about asking for help from a librarian.
The dialogue 情境对话
Excuse me, miss. I'm sorry to bother you. Do you work here?
Yes, I'm one of the librarians on duty right now.
Perfect. Can you tell me where I can find the book Kafka on the Shore?
You should try looking in aisle 3. That's where all the Japanese authors are located. If it's not there, then someone else might have already checked it out.
Thanks. Just out of curiosity, have you read it before?
Sure! I even spent 3 years reading everything Murakami has ever written.
That's amazing. Would you recommend any of his other books?
I like them all, but I especially enjoyed the Wind-Up Bird Chronicles and 1Q84.
I think I'll borrow all 3 of them if they're still available.
The explanation 内文讲解
Okay, so in our dialogue, Martin is asking for help at a library. He went to the librarian and said, "Hi, I have a question."
So 就是这句话的意思就是 Martin is asking for help at the library， 就是其实他就是到图书馆呢去 ask for help。ask for help 就是你寻求人家的帮助。
And when you're starting a conversation with someone you don't know, especially if you're interrupting them at their work, the best thing to start off is to say, "Excuse me." So he says, "Excuse me, miss."
所以呢，就是如果你是去跟一个你不认识的人讲话，你最好是比较有礼貌一点，你就是会开头的话，你会讲说 "Excuse me"， 就是不好意思，请问一下，不好意思 ，miss。
And then he says, "I'm sorry to bother you." And that's also important to say because you're implying that, they're doing important things and you're trouble. So, I'm sorry to bother you.
所以他就是意思是说 I'm sorry to bother you， 就是不好意思要打扰你一下，因为可能他正在做一些很重要的工作，可是你要打断他一下。Bother 就是打扰的意思。
And then he has another question. He says, "Do you work here?" Because if people aren't wearing a uniform, you're not always sure. And so it's important to ask that question. So, do you work here? Are you, are you actually an employee at the library?
对，他就问了一个问题说 Do you work here？ 就是你是在这边工作的吗？因为有的时候就是 librarians 不一定会穿制服，所以你其实不太确定说他到底是不是在那边工作，所以他想要问确定一下。
Although you can look for if they have a name tag on.
Yeah,
That's
true.
always a good sign.
Yeah， 就是 Angela 老师刚刚又有说，如果他有 name tag， 就是你的名牌的话，你就更能辨识说他是不是在那边工作。
So the librarian says, "Yes, I'm one of the librarians on duty right now." If you're on duty, it means that you're in charge of taking care of things at that time. So, for instance, you could have a lifeguard on duty. That means that their job right now is to make sure nobody drowns. So that means it's your job to be available to people.
Exactly， 所以这个 librarian 就说呢 Yes, I'm one of the librarians on duty right now。 那 on duty 呢，其实就是说你在值班的意思。那刚刚 Angela 老师也有讲到说，那个在用 lifeguard， 就是我们海滩的救生员，他们也可以用 on duty， 就是他们在值班，在救人。那刚刚他也有提到一个很好用的片语，就是 be in charge of。be in charge of 就是你在上班的时候，所有的事情都是由你来接管。那 Yes, I'm one of the librarians on duty right now。是啊，我现在就是其中一个 librarian， 就是图书管理员 on duty right now。So on duty 就是值班，那 off duty 就是下班，那 on night duty 就是值夜班。So for example。
Kevin usually gets off duty at 7 p.m.
就是凯文通常晚上7点下班。
Or we have another one. Kathy is on night duty next Monday. It means she has to work all night.
凯西下周一值夜班。
You know who we talk about being on duty and off duty? Also, policemen or firefighters. So sometimes in the news, you'll see a story about an off-duty policeman catches a robber. So he's not actually working, he's not on
but he's
duty,
still-
but he
okay.
still did his job because he thinks of himself as a policeman first.
没错，所以像警察呢，跟消防队员也可以用值班，就是 on duty 跟 off duty 这个用法。像在新闻上呢，我们也常常看到 off duty police officer， 就是指说在这些没有值班的警察呢，他们还是去抓坏人啊，这样子。
So getting back to our dialogue, Martin has gone to the librarian and he's asked her, are you on duty? Can I ask you this question? And she said, yeah. So he's like, perfect. That's great. Can you tell me where I can find the book Kafka on the Shore? So even though he's got this great computer system now, he can go and look up any book he wants. He still takes the lazy route and goes and straight asks the librarian, "Hey, where do I find this book?"
That's the easiest way.
It's true.
Yeah. 所以呢，那个 Martin 他还是选择最简单的方法，他就直接去找这个 librarian， 他就说 perfect， 很好。Can you tell me where I can find a book？ 就是你可以告诉我要去哪边找这本书吗？就 Kafka on the Shore， 就是海边的卡夫卡。
And the librarian she must get this question all the time because she's just right away, she goes, oh, you should try looking in aisle 3. Now, what's an aisle? An aisle is the space between two things. Like if you have a bunch of seats in a theater, the space where you get to all the seats, that's called the aisle. It's different than a corridor because a corridor is a hallway. It's like, it's walls. You're actually between walls. Whereas an aisle is between like seats or between bookshelves. So it's how you get from one place to another in a crowded room.
没错，刚刚 Angela 老师说的就是，其实的 aisle 跟 corridor 的差别呢 ，aisle 就是比如说你在电影院里面有那些座位一排一排的，那中间的那个走道就是 aisle。可是如果你是整个 hallway， 就是长长的比较大的地方，那个中间的那个走廊就叫 corridor。所以这两个地方，这两个单字大家要分清楚。就 You should try looking in aisle 3。所以这个 librarian 就说你应该试试看看那个走道第3列。
So clearly this is a small library because she says in aisle 3 that's where all the Japanese authors are located. And in some libraries, you know, the place where the Japanese authors might be several aisles. So this is quite a small library. Anyways, she says they are all located there. That's where in English, sometimes we'll say that's where they live. Not that books are alive, but the place where something should go, we say, oh, it lives there, which is kind of fun to say.
Oh, yeah. OK， 所以这个 located, be located， 刚刚 Angela 老师说，其实它也可以用 live 这个字。那其实书它本身不是活生生的东西，可是你还是可以这样说。那 That's where all the Japanese authors are located， 就是所有的这个日本的作者呢，他们的书就放在那里。那这个 library 应该蛮小的，因为有一些日本书的作者可能就占了好几个 aisle， 可这边就只有一个 aisle 3。So be located in 或者 be located on 或者 be located at 都是位于的意思。那又等于 be situated in 或者 be situated on, be situated at. So for example.
Oh, many of the city's factories are located in industrial parks, or they might be situated in industrial parks.
没错。所以该市许多工厂都是位于工业院区内。
So she says, if it's not there, if the book you're looking for is not in aisle 3, then someone else might have already checked it out. Someone might have already taken it home, and you'll have to wait till they bring it back or till they return it.
所以这个 librarian 就是说 if it's not there， 所以那本书 it 就是那本书。就是海边的卡夫卡这本书 If it's not there， 如果不在那里的话 then someone else might have already checked it out。 那其他人就是 someone else 就是另外一个人 someone else might have 就有可能 already checked it out。 checked out 呢就是从图书馆登记借出，那它也可以表示旅馆退房的意思。 For example，
Mr. Wong checked out this morning. He's no longer staying in this hotel. But you know, there's a kind of a difference. To check out from a hotel means that you leave the hotel and you don't have any responsibility to it. But if you check a book out from a library, check it out or check something out, that means you have to bring the book back. So it's a little bit of a different relationship.
True. OK， 刚刚那个 Angela 老师就有点出一点，就是如果你说你是从这个 library check out a book, check a book out， 就是你本身你还是有一个 responsibility， 你还是有一个责任，你要把它还出去。可是如果你是从一个旅馆退房的话，其实你就跟这个旅馆没有关系，你就没有任何责任。那刚刚这个例句呢，就是说王先生今天早上退房了，他不住在这间饭店了。
So then Martin says, thanks, thank you for the information. But he has another question. He says, just out of curiosity, you know, I'm kind of wondering, have you read it before? Have you read the book? Do you know what it's like?
Okay, so Martin 就说 thanks, thank you， 就是谢谢你。Just out of curiosity, just out of curiosity 或是 out of interest, out of pity 都是一个很好的用法，就是出自于好奇，出自于兴趣，出自于同情。For example.
I just want to say these three words are not the same meaning though. Curiosity, interest, and pity. They use the same construction, but it's a different word.
Oh,
meaning,
yeah.
But the example says, just out of curiosity, I'd like to know how long you've been watching me. That's a horrible thing. Someone's been staring at you. Just so you know, I want to know how
creepy.
long have you been staring at me? That is creepy.
Yeah, OK， 他就说我想要好奇问一下，你盯着我看多久了 ？Just out of curiosity， 就是出自于好奇。So back to the sentence, thanks. Just out of curiosity， 就出自于好奇心啊。我想说问一下 ，I was wondering, have you read it before？ 你自己有没有看过这本书啊？
And that's a good question to ask a librarian because
Yeah.
they often have read the books and they can give you recommendations.
Yeah.
So it's a good question to ask. And it turns out that yes, she has read the book. She says, sure, I even spent 3 years reading everything Murakami has ever written. So she says, not only have I read the book, I've even read everything he's written. And it took her 3 years because he actually has written a lot of books.
Yeah. Okay.
She spent 3 years and means that she's taken the time to do something. She spent the time on it.
So the librarian 就继续说 ，Sure， 就是当然咯。I even 就是我甚至 I even spent 3 years， 我甚至花了3年的时间 reading everything Murakami has ever written， 就是我甚至花了3年的时间来阅读，就是村上春树写的每一本书。那 spend 后面要加 ing， 所以 spend 3 years reading everything。
And Martin says, that's amazing. Wow, you must have really liked his stuff, really, because that's a long time. Yeah.
所以这个 Martin 就说 That's amazing. That's amazing. 就是说哇，那真的很惊人。You can say That's amazing.
And then he says, well, would you recommend any of his other books? Since you've read them all, would you say that any of his other books are worth reading besides the one I just asked for?
所以这个 Martin 就是说，哦，既然你都读过他每一本书了 ，Would you recommend？ Would you recommend？ 就是你会推荐 any of his other books？Any of his other book 就是他其他的书，不只是他刚刚问的这一本。那刚刚 Angel 老师有提到一个很好的单字，就是 worth reading。Worth reading 就是值得一看的书。
And the librarian answered, she says, I like them all. I like all of his books, but I especially enjoyed The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles and 1Q84. If you especially enjoy something, it means that you really liked that one much better than the other ones. So these are the ones that she liked. The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles, Wind-Up Bird is like a toy, and you wind it up and it moves by itself. And chronicle is another way to say stories.
所以这个 librarian 就说 I like them all， 就是其实我全部都喜欢了。But 但是 I especially enjoy 我特别 especially 就是我特别尤其特别喜欢 The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles。 The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles 它在中文的那个书名是翻作发条鸟年代记。那 Wind-Up Bird 其实就是刚刚 Angel 老师有说是发条鸟，就是一个玩具，你在后面上发条，它会自己这样走的那个发条鸟。And 1Q84。
You know, 1Q84, that's an interesting title. And you're like, why is it 1Q84? That was my question. And it turns out that in Japanese, when you say Q and you say 9, they're the same sound. So you can read 1984 or 1Q84, and if you don't know which one they mean, it sounds the same. And what he's doing a play on, there's another famous book called 1984, written by George Orwell. And it's not really about George Orwell's book, but the story is that there's a woman who finds out that she's got moved into a different world. And originally it was 1984 in her world, but then she got moved to this other weird world where all this strange stuff happens. So she decides to call it 1Q84 to differentiate it between the new world and the old world that she was in.
I see.
It's a very complicated book, but at the end, what she had to do...
It sounds like complicated.
Yeah, but she had to find her lover, and then they had to get back together to the old world.
So it's like a romance story?
Among other things.
I see. Okay, so 刚刚 Angel 老师就有说呢，这 1Q84 它之所以会叫 1Q84， 是因为在日文里面呢，这 Q 跟9的发音是一样的。那其实它故事大概就是女主角她卡在2个世界里面，一个世界就是1984年，一个世界就叫做 1Q84， 那就是为什么有这个名字。
So, you know, IQ84, 1Q84, it's a really complicated book. Murakami likes to make everything very weird in his books. There's always like alternative realities and people with mysterious jobs. And it can be a lot of fun.
没错，刚刚 Angela 老师就说呢，这 1QA4 其实它是一个 very complicated， 就是很复杂的一个故事啦，就是常常就是 alternative reality， 那就是一个另外一种现实，或是人们有一些很奇怪的想法，其实都会蛮超出读者的所想的。
So, it turns out that the 1Q84, there's 2 books already, and now the 3rd book has already come out. So our friend Martin has a lot of reading to do. It might take him 4 years and not 3.
True， 所以这个 1QA4 人其实它目前已经有2本，那第3本也已经上市了，所以我们现在就是说，那个 Martin 应该有很多 books to read， 因为现在有3本了，再加上其他村上春树的书，他应该会花蛮多时间来读这些的。
So getting back to our dialogue, Martin says, I think I'll borrow all 3 of them if they're still available. And when he says all 3 of them, he's referring to all 3 of the books. Because he originally asked for the book Kafka on the Shore, and then she said, oh, there's the Wind-Up Bird Chronicles, and there's 1Q84. And he's like, oh, I want all 3 books. I don't think he realized that 1Q84 is actually 3 books. So he's borrowing 6 books. But he wants them if they're available. If somebody is available, it means that you can have them, or you can talk to them, or you can do something with them. It's available for use.
Okay, so Martin 就说 I think I'll borrow all 3 of them if they're still available. 他说我想我会就是借刚刚这3本书，像他刚刚讲到的《海边的卡夫卡》，还有《发条鸟年代记》，还有 1QA4。就 if they are still available， 它可以用人，也可以用事物。那人的话就是说你可以 talk to them，or you can 就是 reach them， 就是你可以找到他们的话，他就可以说它是 available。那如果他说可取得和现有的时候，就是做事物。So for example,
we still have 2 rooms available. So the hotel room says, yep, we have a room available, so you can stay here tonight.
所以那个饭店可以说我们还有2间空房。
So, I think that Murakami is pretty well liked in Taipei because, there's a cafe here called Kafka on the Shore.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Gongguan area.
Oh, it's in Gongguan. Okay.
And also I went to another cafe and they had an entire shelf of 1Q84 that they were selling. So I think that a lot of people here like this author.
Okay.
Yeah.
Angela 老师刚刚就说这个，其实，在村上春树啊，在台湾其实蛮受欢迎的，因为在台北公馆那边就有一间咖啡厅是以它为名，是以的海边卡夫卡这本书为名。那还有另外一间咖啡厅也是有一整个墙都是他的书，所以可见大家都蛮喜欢村上春树的。
Well, that's all we have for you today. But before we say goodbye, we still have some tips and news to share with you.
我们今天 Tips in Use 要教大家的就是 spend 跟 recommend 的用法。那这样我们下次见喽，拜拜。
Bye-bye.
Tips in Use 重点解析。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Sherman， 又来到了 Tips in Use 时间。今天我们要讲的是花费的相关用法。在文章中，我们可以看到 I even spent 3 years reading everything。当中的 spent 是 spend 的过去式，它的3态分别是 spend、spent 跟 spent。那么这是第3态，就是我们的过去分词，它其实都是指花费的意思。不过呢，花费它的动词还有另外2种，分别是 take 跟 cost， 不过用法却大不相同。所以我们来看看下面这3种的用法吧。首先第一个，我们来看 spend。spend 必须要以人作为主词，之后呢可以接时间或者是金钱来当做花费多少时间跟花费多少金钱的用法。我们来看一下下面的例句。Gary spent a whole year writing his book. Gary 呢花了整年的时间在写他的书。好，那我们来看看 take 的用法。所以使用 take 的时候呢，可以用虚主词 it 事物或人作为主词，那么它必须跟时间的名词并用。句型我们可以看一下下面的例句。It takes me 40 minutes to get home from work. 我下班回家需要花40分钟。那我们来看看第3个 cost 的用法。cost 它必须要物 或者是虚主词的 it 来作为主词，它不能够用人当做主词，而且后面呢只能用金钱好来表示花多少钱的意思。所以呢，我们不能够这样用。Ted's parents will cost about $20,000 a year to send him to college in America。好，主词是 Ted's parents， 他是个人，所以我们不能够用 cost， 我们必须要这样讲才对。It will cost Ted's parents about $20,000 a year to send him to college in America。Ted 的父母呢，他一年必须花大约$20,000送他到美国念大学。所以希望大家都可以学会这3种花费的用法咯。
Tips in Use 重点解析。
今天我们要讲的是建议的相关用法。在文章中有一句话是 Would you recommend any of his other books？ 当中的 recommend 就表示推荐或是建议的意思，而表示建议的动词还有 advise 跟 suggest。那我们来看看它的用法。首先，第一个 recommend 的用法 ，recommend 后面可以加上 VING， 表示建议做某件事情，或者我们可以用 recommend that 加主词加 should 加动词来表示建议应该怎么去做。那这个 should 它可以省略。例如，我们看一下下面的例句 ：Mike recommended drinking warm milk to help me sleep。Mike 推荐我呢，可以喝温牛奶来帮助我入眠。或者我们也可以这样说 ：Henry recommended that we should 或是 we visit the Science Museum instead of the temple。亨利呢建议我们呢不要去寺庙，而改去参观科学博物馆。第二个，我们来看一下 advise 的用法。advise 可以加 somebody to do something， 或者是 advise 直接加名词或者是 VING。表示忠告或建议某人去做某件事。那如果我们用的是 advise somebody against something， 这表示劝告或者是建议某人不要做某件事情。那么如果我们用 advise somebody on 或者 advise somebody about something， 则表示指劝告或建议某人有关于哪些事。例如，我们看看下面的例句 ：My doctor advised me to lose weight。我的医生劝我要减重。I advise Alan against gambling。我劝 Alan 不要再赌博了。或者是第三个例句 ：Will someone please advise me on what I should do in this situation？ 有人能够建议我在这个情况下该怎么办吗？好的，那我们再来看第三个 suggest 的用法。其实 suggest 跟 recommend 类似。除了表示建议之外，它其实还能表示暗示的意思，它也可以等于 imply。例如 ，Are you suggesting that Thomas is not an honest man？ 所以你也可以这样说 ：Are you implying that Thomas is not an honest man？ 你在暗示 Thomas 他不是个诚实的人吗？所以以上都是3种建议的用法，希望大家都可以学会喽。我们下次见吧，拜拜。
Words and phrases 单字片语。
1. Ask for. The timid girl dare not ask for help.
2. On duty, off duty, on night duty. Kevin usually gets off duty at 7 p.m. Kathy is on night duty next Monday.
3. Be located in. Be located on. Be located at. Be situated in. Be situated on. Be situated at. Many of the city's factories are located in industrial parks. Many of the city's factories are situated in industrial parks.
4. Check out. Mr. Wong checked out this morning. He's no longer staying in this hotel.
5. Out of curiosity. Out of interest. Out of pity. Just out of curiosity, I'd like to know how long you've been watching me.
6. Available. We still have 2 rooms available.
Extra words. Librarian.
The dialogue 情境对话
Excuse me, miss. I'm sorry to bother you. Do you work here?
Yes, I'm one of the librarians on duty right now.
Perfect. Can you tell me where I can find the book Kafka on the Shore?
You should try looking in aisle 3. That's where all the Japanese authors are located. If it's not there, then someone else might have already checked it out.
Thanks. Just out of curiosity, have you read it before?
Sure! I even spent 3 years reading everything Murakami has ever written.
That's amazing. Would you recommend any of his other books?
I like them all, but I especially enjoyed the Wind-Up Bird Chronicles and 1Q84.
I think I'll borrow all 3 of them if they're still available.
Just for fun 趣味英文
Right. So we all jump onto the table and dance along to the music.
What? Really? Didn't our manager tell you to go down?
No way. He got up and started dancing with us. It was the best dinner ever.
Oh, I wish I had been there. There's never a dull moment with you and your friends.
Yeah, there was this one time last week that was pretty boring.
Alright, what I mean by never a dull moment is that it's usually interesting being around you. 所以在这里呢 never a dull moment dull 它字面上的意思就是无聊的，所以你想象一下，如果 never a dull moment 就是指这个人绝无冷场，跟他在一起总是很好玩。
比如我们说 John is so popular because whenever he speaks, there is never a dull moment. 约翰呢，他很受欢迎，因为每当他讲话的时候，就绝无冷场。这种人通常就很受欢迎了。
没错，这样大家学起来了吗 ？Never a dull moment 就绝无冷场。那我们下次见喽，拜
拜拜。